What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Cryptoverse DAO. It's your boy Simon Says, and I'm gonna tell you what Simon said, right? Simon says that Bitcoin is going to 20K. Send it back to the peg. You can only catch the latest updates right here in the stream. So thank you guys all for joining. Let's get at it. Another update. Make sure to smash that like button if you're watching this on the YouTube. The streams have been, or the views have been going up crazy. So appreciate that. Let's get into it. I want to teach you guys or show you guys just basic structure, right? So if we're looking at Bitcoin and we're only looking at this structure, right? We can see here we're making higher highs, lower highs by that wick, and then higher highs, right? So I'm sorry, higher lows, correct? So right there is where the bullish trend ends. Right here we start making lower lows because why? We took this range of lows. Right, so we make a lower low to the candle bodies, not the wicks at first, right? These wicks were still keeping this price action up. Notice how those bodies are staying all between this wick. Notice how we get one quick sweep of upside, downside volatility in this 1 3-hour candle, and then we finally sweep the low of the wick. So both closes, wicks and candle bodies matter significantly in the price action. So we start to make lower lows and then lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Notice how, even though we got above this 3-hour high, for this hourly close, we got rejected hard. And as well, we weren't able to, close above into the wick area. As you see, this wick, the last one down, was still keeping that candle body at bay almost perfectly. So this new wick is what we've now tapped into. How many times? I'll say about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5 times we've now tapped it. And all I want to really pinpoint, as we know, we now make that lower low that it made, and that, lower high, since it didn't clear this candle body. All I want to point out to you guys is on the RSI, the divergence, right? If we went from this high, I'll even say this high, because they're two right next to each other. You can clearly see the two peaks that come up, right? 1, 2. And notice how this third peak that comes up and the price action is, down here below both the peaks. It's actually, above both the peaks on the RSI. So when the RSI on the 3-hour hit the 50, which is, a key point of resistance on the RSI, we've now come back down. Now this is what the bears, this is a big test. We're right next to the 40 RSI. Look at how it's held 1 time, 2 times. Now we're getting this third imprint on the RSI. So will this divergence hold is a big key. You can see that the RSI has actually just been consolidating, and these moves are still giving you, 2%, 3% move down, 3% move up. So the volatility in the market is there, and that's what we need. All we really need to do is box in our zone to the new range. So where do we want to take our longs? Well, we see that the wick area is down here, the most boxed in it could be. But what we could also do is, increase our support area, and maybe just use the candle bodies, right? So we see a candle body here, got rejected from up here, then came down. So this would be the area I'd be taking my longs from. All right, this would be the area that we're trying to look for our shorts. So this is on a 3-hour time frame, so it is larger structure, which is better for taking your trades. But we'd have to go down on the time frames to really see. And my battery's dying, but we should be okay. I'll plug it in. I know Taylor's over there screaming on the mic. Yeah. But yeah, so boom, that's really simple. That's just the price action, no structure, right? A little bit of RSI divergence, but just pinpointing like the highs and the lows. Now, let's take it to, a chart that we have marked up a little bit with some structures. Let's take it back to the daily again. So this is interesting, very, very interesting. Didn't notice that this daily candle was a doji. Looks like a butterfly doji from yesterday. Notice how this candle, we did try to come up, you know, today, but we didn't break that candle wick. As well, you know, earlier, later, like last week, later on in the around Thursday or Friday last week, we were talking about, you know, this doji that came in on the daily and the 60 RSI double top that was coming in. And notice how like a slight drop has come in, but the RSI on the daily still hasn't met much room, you know, from the 40 and even oversold. As well, you know, this 50 RSI, it holding support around there would, you know, give it maybe some support or near one of these valley lows. So like if price action was to come down in here and then it was making a double bottom, I might be looking for some bullish momentum on the daily. So let's go down to the 4 hour, or let's look at the structure a little bit. These are pretty steep ascending trend lines. Usually I would like an ascending trend line to be like this, if you're looking at the orange ones. But with the amount of volatility that was playing in this range, if a bull run was to happen, it would happen just like this. It would happen with a steeper trend line, more like a channel, right? More like a bullish channel if we wanted to kind of outline it. And the bulls would flip this channel, use it as support, and then come back and try to go again, right? So that's how kind of I've seen the bull market work. Let's go down to the 4 hour so we can see the chart a little bit better. So as you go down on the time frames, the lines look a little bit different. You can see that they're not as steep on the 4 hour. And what you see, what we did have is a ascending triangle, fake out, back down below resistance, and then what happens when we break ascending triangle supports? We flip it. Flip it down. I'll delete that now. Then what did we have? You know, we had probably about 24 hours of just kind of consistent downside. Until, you know, we got like, what did we get? We got this butterfly doji, another doji wick, holding all inside this orange support zone. Broke the wedge. Very big, you know, bullish candle up to test the last highs, sweep the highs. Are we going to continue down from here? I'm going to take this wedge off because it's played out and the volume isn't there anymore. The volume was there for the upside, and, you know, now it's escaped. Before I delete it, I'll show you on a lower time frame. If you look here, this is when we broke out for a 4 hour candle close, and then we're rejected by the same zone. And then if we kind of go back to the 45 minute, right, we can see that we broke out, and it's the same structure, same everything, but notice how we try to retest, you know, this as a support resistance retest of this fallen wedge resistance, this little wick right there on that 45, and then we ended up closing or starting this next candle and dropping through the 21 MA. If you wanted to catch that long, right, all you had to do was pinpoint that this was your new zone, this black thick line between this and this bottom, or the, you know, the bottom of the zone, and look at that 41. Look at that 40 test. We get the what? We got left shoulder above the 40. The head comes down right below the 40 for, you know, a quick brief second. And then you have a double bottom holding above the 40 RSI. Just the wicks. Your entry wasn't here long enough. Double bottom above the 40. Come on, look at that. Are we seeing that double bottom? You could either do this low to this candle low, or you could compare, you know, this black candle to this, you know, next candle. Obviously this candle was below it, but then the price action even closed below it. This high was lower. Hope you guys get what I'm saying with those divergences, because they'll change your life for real. If you don't, remember, we're in the Discord. And yeah, I'd love to learn more from you guys. So back to, you know, the immediate price action. What can we tell you from this low to this high that it's just created, right? We can see that we're now testing. We've gone through the 618. and we're coming into that 786 retracement. Really, sorry, that looks ugly. Really what I'm watching is our original ascending triangle breakout. So once we flip this, line as a support, it's been support for 2 days in a row. Then we slipped below it hard, slipped below it, came here, and then we tested it 2 days on the upside. Couldn't get above it, straight back through, butterfly doji, engulfing candle, taking the highs, but not making the RSI, making an RSI divergence, not being able to bust the 60 RSI on the daily. Doji at the top coming down. But, this is the test right here, this line. And if we, didn't even extend it, like this line isn't, it's just an ascending triangle, right? This is where the price action was when we drew it, just because of this high. And you can just see how it's been playing out over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 daily touches on it. So very important trend line right here. What has me scared for the bulls that it's mixed with this ascending trend line support. So if we were to flip both of them at the same time with some volume, we could come right down here to 22,000, or test this top right here first. Maybe test some supports right here. Let's check low time frames. If we're on a low time frame, we see we have a very nice support right here, and we see the RSI is like coming back down to the 40. Still hasn't really touched the 40. Well, it might have touched it on the last wick, but definitely, not breaking the 40 yet. As you can see, like this low is still, like this is still a higher low to this, but on the RSI, you can see there's like a big divergence. But on the lower time frames, it's really key to pick up on divergences on like key support areas like the 40, 50, or 60, or 30 and the 70, like right before oversold or overbought. Look at this, triple bottoms on the wicks, almost 5 dojis or 4 dojis in a row, 3 dojis in a row. And here we do see, the 30 RSI picking up that divergence from here. So, nothing goes straight up or down. So now if we're looking for, since, we broke some of the lows, if we're looking for a retracement on this move, you can see it come up to even the 3.82. The 0.5 would take these highs, the 0.6 would, take these highs, and then a 0.786 close on, this lower time frame would mean, we could break this high and continue to make higher highs on a larger time frame. You see how, like, even though this pump is, it looks like it has some nice volume on it, there's only nice volume on it because, we just went down 2%, right? And now, like, the retracement comes. So when there's more volume in the market, the retracements are also stronger. So that's always something to pick up on. This is a lot of price action for this little time, so I'd expect, a move to come up. Just, play your lows and play your highs. Don't put a trade in the middle of the zone. And for now, that's it, guys. I'd like to thank you guys all for tapping into our stream. We do the best TA, fundamentals, and education. And, the best time to start is now. We are in a bear market, so I want to recommend, this is not financial advice, but do your due diligence and get started in crypto. It's going to change your life.